Hey everybody, it's your girl Danny here with another little mini entry. So this is something that's kind of been on my mind for a while, and I guess it's also kind of been in the news lately. Well, not exactly this, but situations kind of similar. As you've been hearing lately, a lot of artists have been canceling tours, or downsizing, canceling dates because not a lot of people are buying tickets. There's something called the blue dot cause, I think it's what they're calling it, blue mark check. I don't know. Those blue dots that you see on Ticketmaster, and not a lot of fans are buying it. Why? Because why the hell are we charging $400 for a pit ticket for artists who, in all reality, shouldn't be in giant venues? Now, you're wondering probably why this episode's entitled Fanmeets. Well, with all the situation going down with Megan Trainor, the Pussycat Dolls canceling their tours because these are well-known worldwide artists. Like Pussycat Dolls haven't been really relevant in years, but Nicole Shin's whatever the hell her last name is, she is somewhat relevant. She just recently won a Tony. She's always been like one of those moderate celebrities that like you kind of see her and you know her, and obviously we all know who Megan Trainor is, and I think even Post Malone canceled some of his, and I think Zayn from One Direction. I'm sidetracking. The reason why I want to bring this up is because, much like I think some K-pop acts, again, I'm digressing. The reason why I wanted to have this quick discussion is that recently we have seen an uptick in Thai BL actors coming down here for fan meets in the past, I guess, 2 years. I've been to many of them. We've had First Cow and Dun Dun come in for the Heart Killers. Down Off Road is doing their second one this month, actually. By the time you're hearing this, it'll be for me the week that I will be going to go see them. We've had Pond is doing some events. We've had Boss and Knoll, Fort Pete's coming. Lycan has done, they've done concerts, but like when you think about it, they kind of fit under that umbrella. William S., Pompuin, et cetera, et cetera. And, as someone who's gone to a couple, in my hand, I can probably count, I've gone to, let's count this out. I went to the first Down Off Road. I'm going to the second one. I've done Boss Knoll. I've done Pompuin. I did the Heart Killers, and then I did Lycan. So I've been to about 6 out of the like what 10. Not all of them have been in New York. We had the Josh Godwin one. I think that was in Atlanta. I want to say, I'm not really sure. I can't really remember. And we've had Fourth Gemini, right? Fourth Gemini also had one. Again, I'm just naming all the ones I can think of in my head. And I'm starting to notice how insane the prices are for some of these events, and how much like when it comes to these concerts, the benefits don't equal the price of the ticket. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because at the time of recording this, it's Friday, May 8th. The Fort Pete one goes on sale tomorrow morning. If I get a ticket, you'll probably know because I'll probably post it on our social medias. But the reason why I want to talk about this is that a couple of days beforehand, uh King Namping, from Kim Jara, oh god, I hope I'm saying that right. The Mundi couple. This actually they're going to be the third Mundi couple to come to New York this year. They're doing a fan meet both in LA and in New York, and they're doing it under the same company that Boss and Knoll did theirs. And I was really excited when this first was announced. I really do like that show. I was really open to go and like see them. We were going to do a whole episode, and then the prices and the benefits came out. And my biggest issue with this specific one, and then it kind of got me thinking about all the other ones that I've gone to in the benefits, is how expensive it is. How crazy it is that, like, we're spending a lot of money for very little benefits. And I know, what you're thinking, like, well, you could just buy a GA ticket. They're not offering a GA ticket for this fan meet. This would have been a completely different conversation, or probably not a conversation at all, had a GA ticket been offered. And it is kind of just crazy to me that like this is even, happening. This is a conversation we're happening. I'm pulling up right now the prices are, but it's kind of an enormous amount that I just could not believe. I could not believe. I like, let's see, where here we go. So for the New York location, the highest tier ticket is VIP. It is $350. Now, when you count for taxes and everything like that, it's basically a $400 ticket. And this is what everyone gets. There is a high buy session, a photo op of 2 to 1, a postcard, all pre-signed, handed by the artist, which is what they did for Boston All. Only 30 people will win a meet and greet, and then all of them will get soundtrack. And I'm like, you know what? I can kind of understand maybe not wanting to do a meet and greet, although a high buy is kind of like a meet and greet. So I don't know what the difference is if maybe they get a few extra seconds. But why not just do like a fan sign or something? I feel like that would have been more reasonable than just having, because as someone who went to the Boston one, they hand you the card after the photo is taken. Because that's what happened to us. We did the photo with Boston. I turned around. I believe it was Noel who handed it to me, or Boss. I can't really remember, but I feel it might have been Noel. But I digress. I kind of want to go through these prices just because this is the most specific one. Gold tier is $280. Every tier gets a high buy. Photo up is 2 to 4. Everyone gets a handed photo. But here's the kicker. Only 50 people will get one that's signed by the artist. After that, the meet and greets, only 20 winners. So in total, there are going to be 50 winners, and they don't get sound check. The lowest tier ticket is silver at $180. High buy. Photo that is 2 to 8, and a postcard handed by the artist. And that is all the tiers. There's no lower tiers than that. So basically, to go into this venue, at a minimum, to this event, you have to pay $200. It is at the Times Square. I can't remember what the theater is called now, but it used to be the PlayStation Theater. It used to change their name like every freaking other month. I actually saw TXT there for their debut showcase when they first started out. This is where Lycan is going to do their concert in the summer. It's not a big venue. I've seen a couple of like artists here. I've been to a couple rock shows there back in my rock days. So it's not a small venue, but it's not a huge venue. I believe tickets didn't fully sell out for this because I feel like they would have said something. But the fact that the most you have to pay to go in to see them is $200. There is no GA ticket. And I feel like a GA ticket would have been, still beneficial if they had charged like even $100. Like and like even that's egregious, but like $100, a high buy, and then like a postcard given by staff. That I feel like the bare minimum would have been great. They do have 2 additional add-ons, which I thought was kind of crazy. I don't remember them doing this for Boston. I don't think they did this. But the add-ons are a 30-second fan chat with like, what the hell is that? So like they get to film a 30-second like TikTok video or is that 30-second chat? Like I don't understand what that is. That's for only 50 people and it's at $150. Insanity, because at the time of recording this, there's no real explanation as to what the hell that is. And then there's the photo selfie, so an additional photo at $100, and only 100 people are getting that. Like, I mean, we did that for the Heart Killers. You were able to buy Polaroids at additional cost with the members. You had to pick like one couple. I'm just kind of saying that the prices for a lot of these events are astronomical. They're kind of crazy to me. I think it's great that we're bringing BL Thai actors. We're kind of broadening our horizons in terms of events like this that you mostly would see in like other, really just in Thailand, Japan. They're broadening their horizons and like, knowing that this is kind of what the people want. And I think that's great. In a sense, I think it's great. But at the end of the day, I still think that this is a little bit too much in terms of pricing. I think maybe I know someone said this and I was seeing this on TikTok and I kind of agreed. We're kind of getting out of this like this COVID fog, I guess you could say, where we are no longer in this mindset of like, oh, now that we're out of quarantine, we have to go see every single concert and pay whatever they're charging because it's been years since we gone to see our favorite artist. Like, we're no longer doing that. I think that's why a lot of like these big concerts have been canceling. I do think that this is just way too much. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but like, I didn't see a lot of people's reactions in terms of like the prices of the tickets, where I'm just like, okay, I get it, because like this is something that's very unique. I just, for myself, I feel like I can't justify that. Oh, that's so funny. So at the time of me recording this, oh my god, put a pin on this. Win from GMMTV. He just announced a fan meet here in New York City at Brooklyn Steel. Oh my god. GMMTV is hosting it. I have to read you guys these prices. Actually, these aren't like, I can't say these are too bad because like I let me read them first. So the cheapest ticket for this one is $40 B standing. Okay. The most you get is an official poster. Fair. A tier, $250. You get a pre-signed poster. Okay, that's not bad. A 1 to 6 photo, high touch, and then 10 random people will get a signed Polaroid. That I think I could go for because like you get a signed poster. I think that's then VIP is 350. You get a pre-signed poster, a photo that's 1 to 1, and then a high touch, and then a random 10. So that's where I'm like, that doesn't seem right. It's $100 more, and the only difference between the tiers is that you get a private photo. And I'm just like, I don't know if that justifies $100 more. If it was like 300 or 320, maybe. Again, and I feel like I can't justify these prices. I feel like I am going crazy. SVIP is $380. So basically $400. You get a fan sign, a 1 to 1 photo, the high touch, and the random 20. So the difference between 350 and the $30 difference is that you get to do a fan sign, which as someone who did the like and fan sign, it's a like not even a 10-second hello. Okay. I literally, if you hear all the stories of people say, oh yeah, the staff grabbed me, that happened to me. I literally was telling Lego how beautiful I thought he was and how much I loved him because he is my bias. And suddenly I felt someone grab my sides and move me over. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fight this because we had been waiting outside too long and I'm not about to like cause problems, whatever. But it pissed me off. So it's like, that's going to happen here if you take even more than 2 seconds talking to him. But oh my God, that's so funny that they just announced this as I'm recording this episode. But this is what I'm saying. These prices are just crazy. And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because, like I said, I'm going to be buying the Fort Pete one tomorrow. And I think the second tier ticket for that one is about $200. I'm praying I'm getting it so that I can at least get a signed poster because that's my other thing. I've gone to a couple of these events. I have, like I said, I've gone to about 6. Out of the 6 that I've gone, 5 of them, actually, no, 3 of them I have a signed poster because I have the Lycan, Ponpuin, no, 5, sorry, because I have Bosnol, Lycan, Ponpuin, and oh my God, what is the other? Oh, I'm going to get the Down Off-Road signed photo. I'm like looking because I have my photos right here. Oh, and the Heart Killers. So I have Lycan, Bosnol, Ponpuin. I think I have like 5 signed posters. That's the only reason why I'm willing to pay $200 to meet Fort Pete is because I want the signed poster because that justifies to me the price because like at least I'll get the signed poster. I don't even want to do like a fan sign. I don't need to be like, hey, what's up? Because we're going to do like a group photo. I would rather just take the group photo, get my signed poster and be done with it. My mom got them framed for me, which is really nice. We're gonna hang them up. When they're all hanged up, I'm gonna take a photo and post it. But they got, she got them framed in Ecuador for like really cheap. So, they all look really nice, especially the Paul Snow one. I think that one came out really well. Uh I'm losing track. But basically why this whole conversation came up is that I really wanted to go to the kidnapping one. They're not my favorite Bundy couple. Like they're definitely there. It's like a couple I enjoy watching and I liked Kim Jong-un when it came out. I've watched it a couple of times, even though it's like really, really long. And we were going to do an episode on it because we do an episode anytime we do a fan meet. That's kind of been like our forte plan. Like we did Me and Thee because of Ponpuin. We did Fame Pup because of Lycan. We're going to do a Wicked Games episode for Down Off-Road. We did one already for the Heart Killers because of Shakespeare. It was just more of a Shakespeare celebration thing, even though I don't like Shakespeare. But we did it because I had, Heart Killers, information and videos. And we'll eventually do Boy Next World because of Fossil. And we are going to do Yesterday because of Fort and Pete. So it's not like we're doing these, I'm going for the, it's like hand in hand. I have an excuse to go to these events because, hey, I can do an episode on it and I get to see my favorite artist. I could not justify the price for King Nampi. I was just like, you know what? As much as I like them, they're not my favorite Demundi couple. I'm not going to Demundi Day on August 9th, which funny enough is the day after the Fort Pete one. I just realized that. I'm not seeing Thomas Kong or TT Ford because neither one of them, again, they're not my favorite Demundi couples are Xinu and Max Nat. And I guess if I had to pick like a third one, oh my God, I really do love Tudor Yum. I really do love them in cutie. I think I'm just obsessed with the cutie pie couples. Sue me. So if any of them ever came, yeah, I would be shelling out all this money. I would regret it after. Well, not regret it. I would hate myself after because it's a lot of money. But it's just insane. It's just I'm repeating myself over and over again. But I just, some of these prices to me are just a lot. What is a fan chat? So Demundi Day has that for them for the top tier at $350. Fan chat 20 seconds 2 to 1. I want to know what a fan chat is. Like, what is that? Like, I'm not understanding. And those sold off quick. Like, that's why I'm scared to do Fort and Pete tomorrow because I know that's gonna sell out. And then I'm not doing the Pond one. And when I say Pond, I don't mean like Pompoon. I mean Pond from like Forever You and Reset because that one's in Chicago. But at least this one I feel like, oh, that's a fun idea of doing like dates or like doing like fun little activities. I think that's done a lot in Thailand. I've seen a lot of like in Thailand, like you'll go on a cruise ship with your favorite actor for this much money or something, like things like that. So I'm like, hey, that's a lot of fun. And obviously it's a little bit more cheaper because it's over there. But I don't know. Like me and Lily are seeing BTS this summer and we spent like a good amount of money. And the only reason I could say I could justify spending the money we spent, even though, I'm not gonna lie, anytime I spend money on a concert, I'm about to pay for my trip to Thailand. And anytime I'm spending more than $100 on things like this, I get that knot in my stomach of like, oh my God, why did I spend this much money? And it's not surprising. We're in this economical time, especially if you're in the US, where the economy is not in the best place. A lot of us are justifying going to these events, concerts, the ones that, we're being really picky, as you can see why all these other tours are canceling, is due to the fact that, like, you know, there's a chance we might be going into another recession soon. Like, it's very, very likely. There aren't a lot of jobs out there. And it's just there you just I don't know, like, how many people do you know that are in, which you probably don't, who are in a lot of debt and, are justifying going to this stuff just to kind of feel some type of comfort? Because and it's like a weird cycle, where we spend the money, we regret spending the money, but we go to these events because it's the one thing that kind of keeps our mind off of having this debt or dealing with a shitty job. But I just don't know how much longer a lot of us can justify spending $400. And this is what's crazy to me. Like, if this was like, oh, $400 to see Sabrina Carpenter, yeah, I could justify that. And mind you, that's like her VIP gifts were like amazing. And I'm not saying it's not worth this amount of money to see your favorite Thai actors. If these are your favorite actors, spend what you can spend. I'm gonna go in this process of like, don't go into debt for these tickets. Like, please be, and this is, I sound like a hypocrite. I sound like a hypocrite. But like, be mindful of your money. I've made some money mistakes, back in my day, and I'm still cleaning up a bunch of cars. I'm reworking payment strategies, and yet I'm still going to these events, but I'm trying to get out of the cycle. And probably me saying that, people are probably like, well, why are you going to Thailand? The only reason I'm justifying this trip is because it's my birthday, and I want to celebrate my birthday, especially a big milestone, in a big way, and not feel so sad and paranoid or whatever, mind you. And I want to go on this grand adventure because when I come back, I'm going to be in this notion of just like hardballing, paying off these debts and trying not to go too crazy in spending money. I just think we need to, as a fandom, we need to, kind of talk with our money and not allow these places to like, and this is hard to say, like, not charge us an absorbent amount, because it's not going to happen right away because people are paying so much money already. But I don't know, it's just insane to me. And it's like, if you're going to be charging this much money, why not just get a bigger venue? And this is not me saying, yeah, we need to have at least 100 people doing SVIP, so that way 100 people get signatures and it justifies getting a bigger venue, because these actors are still people. They're, it can be a lot to have to do events like this, but I would say maybe justify, if you're going to be charging this much, maybe get a little bit of a bigger venue. a little bit of a bigger venue, and then church GA. I think that's what bothered me the most about the Kingdom Ping one is just that why is there no GA option? Why is it that the minimum amount I need to spend or would have had to have spent to go see these actors is $200? Like it just I don't know. Like even for the Heart Killers, I think the lowest tier ticket was like $70, and that one still got a high touch. I mean, was that event great? I mean, there are some issues, but I'm hoping Starstruck Media has fixed themselves. I guess we'll see next Saturday. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just needed to get this out because it was just really kind of driving me insane that like I don't know. It's just a lot. And maybe this rant is more coming out as someone who is just financially right now trying to be better about her finances, do better now that I'm getting to a certain age. I have some things that I'm really hoping to clean up, work on, and do better for myself and kind of work more on a budget, try to save more to do things like this. And, it's just it kind of does suck because I want to have all the fun in the world, but we need to, I need to pick and choose. And even though this is more of a personal like thing, and it's like, yeah, spend your money how you want. If you're seeing them and you spent that top tier ticket, have all the fun in the world. I just think it's kind of just insane that that's how much we're charging. And maybe it's because we're having these conversations of artists who are huge, like big singers who are canceling full on tours. It kind of makes sense that like, they're kind of bleeding us dry. So, a part of me is like, listen, if MaxNat, although they probably won't, decide to do a fan meet here in New York, I'm gonna be the biggest hypocrite. I'll spend to get the top tier ticket. Hell, I'll pay for an extra Polaroid photo. Because again, that's my favorite couple. I spent and I bought the top tier ticket to see Bossa Nol. I bought so much merch because they're one of my favorite couples. I love them and I was so happy to see them. And I bought the ticket the week of my birthday. And, next week, I don't have a top tier ticket for Down Off Road. I think I have a second tier ticket. So I'm going to get like a signed poster and stuff. And I'm so excited because it is for my birthday. But, I guess what I'm trying to say is be mindful how you spend your money. Don't I understand letting FOMO take over, and sometimes I think justifiably it's okay to let FOMO take over, especially with everything going on. Sometimes we need that enjoyment, but let's try to do better. Let's try to push these companies to not charge us an arm and a leg for a 2-second photo. That's what bothers me the most. Okay. Like I feel like a lot of these fan signs I feel more justifiable for if the Lycan one didn't happen where we were grabbed. There's another way to do that, but whatever. I don't want to keep going too long. But yeah, so thanks for listening to my rant. I know it was like kind of all over the place, but I hope I kind of, got the point across. And, to everyone who's going to any of these upcoming events, Down Off Road, Fort P, Lycan's concert in June, the Win one that just got announced, who's going to Kim Nam, I hope you all, Thomas Kong, TT, have the most fun ever. Enjoy it, make friends. It's a great time you seeing your favorite artist, and yeah, that's really all I have to say. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.